I want to make voting easy again. There's about 900,000 people that probably have not voted since the new election laws went into effect in 2021. And I think they're going to be surprised, especially rural voters and college students and snowbirds and shut-ins with the new deadlines that are in place for voting. They've caused a lot of problem for people that have been voting in the last two elections, the city school election and the primary election. In fact, in Linn County, we had 101 people that missed the deadline to vote for the primary to request an absentee ballot, and 51 didn't vote. And we just can't have that happen in our democracy where people don't engage and vote in the election. So I want to make it easy again. There's constraints that have been put on the voting, restrictions that are unnecessary, that are causing people to forego voting, and we need to reverse that.
And I know you were part of a lawsuit. You were sued by the President Trump campaign for efforts to get out absentee ballots, request forms. Because I know here in Woodbury County, our county auditor, Pat Gill, who you probably already know, also had done the same.
There was three auditors. I was the first, and then Pat, and then the Johnson County auditor. We all got sued, and we were trying to make voting easy during a pandemic. We were trying to ensure that there was a great turnout in that election, and we sent out pre-filled absentee ballot request forms with the voters' information on it, the same as people received their driver's licenses, their tax returns, their tax forms. All kinds of legal documents come in the mail. The mail is viewed as being a secure way to transmit legal documents and confidential documents to people. We use the same methodology as everyone else does. So it's unfortunate we got sued. I think it was meant to cause chaos and calamity within those three counties, which were Democratic-leaning counties. It didn't work. In Linn County, over 83% of the active registered voters voted in that county, which was a new record for us. So, and we saw records set across the state. So, it didn't work in my county to sue me. People still turned out and voted, and that's what we wanted, what we expected.
Even though there's been no proof, we still hear people say that the 2020 election was rigged. I wanted to get your thoughts on the subject.
Well, I think that's a big differentiator between me and the current Secretary of State, who has endorsed Rudy Giuliani, for example, and was a statewide chairman of Rudy Giuliani, and who invited Donald Trump to headline a fundraiser. Poor judgment on his part. The two biggest election deniers that we have in the United States are those two people. And Secretary Pate, Paul Pate, has befriended these people. That's who he associates with. He has done nothing to disavow what they've been doing, how they've been ruining our democracy with, undercutting the elections and every facet of it, looking for things that don't exist. So I'm not very happy with him. That's why I'm running, because we have a difference of opinion as to the security of the elections and what this democracy is all about. And I think that's probably one of the bigger differentiators.
Why do you think they're trying to do restrictions on voting?
It is an irony that we had the biggest turnout in the state, and yet the Republican Party won across the state, picked up and even made gains in areas. So why they had this huge victory in November of 2020 and then decided 3 months later to impose all these restrictions. These restrictions were based upon rumor and innuendo of things that occurred in other states, not even in Iowa. And that's the tragedy of the whole thing. They never even could cite cases, examples of why justify this. So I think it's unfortunately a paranoia, a last grasp of trying to hold on to power because they don't like the demographics of the state. I just think it's a power-hungry move that I just despise. Why not let everyone vote?
We can hear sirens because we're outside doing the interview in downtown Sioux City. I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you would like to tell people who are listening to you?
Well, I think it's very important that we all get out and vote. Unlike some people, who just want this person or that person to vote, or they only want the people that vote on election day to vote. I want everyone to vote across the board. I think if everyone votes across the board, that we are more likely to accept the end result. We need to have people win and lose, and the losers concede, and not continue calling for fraud or saying somebody cheated or whatever. That's how it used to be. There's no reason that we can't return to that, and I think that's what we need to do as a country and as a state. When you lose, admit you lost, move on. And if you don't like the result, then run again in 2 years or 4 years, whatever the case may be. But don't go out there and undermine the whole process just for personal gain. And that's what I see happening now.